Everyone, here, now. What the heck? Sakusa creating a group chat? Well, that's new. Shut up, I have my reasons. Where is the rest? I'm here, even though I have no idea why. This better not be something like the last time I was in one of these. Oh, come on, you are still salty about that? You almost broke us up. Yes, I am still salty about it. But it worked. Can we get back to the topic? Yes, thank you. So, as you all probably know, Atsumu's birthday is tomorrow. Never heard of that. Quit the sarcasm. Of course. Not really, but go on. So, apart from giving him his gift, I was thinking about what would make Tsumu happy. Easy. Food. Yes. And because going to a restaurant is too easy, I wanted to do a bit more and cook myself. Aww. That's surprisingly thoughtful coming from you. Hey, I'm not mean to Tsumu, okay? Okay, that's really nice of you, but what does it have to do with us? Why don't you do the same for your boyfriends? That's a great idea. Hajime is cooking most of the time, so I guess he deserves to be treated once in a while. How considerate. I guess why not? At least it's not that stupid like the last so-called challenge. Hey! I'm not sure if you know that, but there is a reason why Samu is cooking all our food. Of course I know that. That's why I added you. You want our house to burn down? Just be careful and it will work out. Fine, but you'll pay for our new kitchen if something happens. Jeez. Why us though? I chose randomly. Except for Suna. Okay, sure. I owe him anyway for the feast he made for me last time. Do I have to? Yes. Ugh, fine. Yu is coming home this weekend anyway. Could be a welcome surprise. Great. Go ahead at your own pace. And remember, it's not a competition. Goal is to make your boyfriend happy. He's so soft for Tsumu. You should see them in person. As if you and Osamu are different. I have no counter-argument. Good, I'm done here. Go ahead and do your best. Oikawa set the shopping bags on the counter with a relieved sigh. He had to buy almost everything, as his inspection of their fridge earlier showed almost nothing. He started to regret his laziness to go buy groceries before, about halfway back to their house when the bags started to feel heavy. I should have sent Hajime there. But then it wouldn't be a surprise. He put away the groceries and prepared all the ingredients he needed, already imagining Iwaizumi's delighted expression he was surely about to have. He stared at the pieces of tofu, unsure how to proceed. He scrolled on his phone to check the recipe. It can't be that difficult, right? It's fried tofu. What could go wrong? Unfortunately for him, he got so used to Iwaizumi doing the cooking, he kinda forgot how it all works. He coated the cubes with cornstarch and looked at them disapprovingly, as if the pieces would jump into the oil by themselves if he stared at them long enough. Let's just get this over with. It can't be that hard. He took the cutting board and threw all the pieces into the pot. The oil immediately started to sizzle wildly, the hot drops flying around and burning Oikawa's skin. He hissed and withdrew his hands, knocking over the cutting board with the onion and radish, which were sent flying. The bowl with the rest of the cornstarch made a dull thud sound as the contents spilled over the floor. Damn it! Toru? Oikawa froze, hearing his boyfriend's footsteps above his head in the direction of the stairs. What was that sound? Are you okay? Oikawa gritted his teeth. I'm fine, just don't come here now, please. Why? Just don't. What did you do? Nothing, I promise. You know I recognize when you are lying, right? The stairs creaked and soon Iwaizumi's head appeared in the kitchen. Oikawa inwardly cringed as Iwaizumi's face went through a wide range of emotions before he narrowed his eyes at him. Oikawa Toru, why does our kitchen look like there was an explosion? You see, I wanted to prove my absolute gratitude to you for all the things you did for me and... Shorter version, Toru. Oikawa sighed, rubbing his slightly burnt hands. Sakusa gave us a challenge to make our boyfriend's favorite food, and I thought it was a nice idea, but I kinda forgot how to cook. He looked at the still sizzling pot, the floating pieces of tofu starting to look like a charcoal. It just started to sputter all over the place and it burned me, and I knocked over the rest of the things. Sorry about the mess, I'll clean it up. Iwaizumi rolled his eyes and snorted, taking hold of Oikawa's hands, guiding him to the sink and wiping them with dry towel before turning on the cold water. Keep your hands under the water. It will cool the skin and it should stop stinging. You aren't mad? Not really. You tried. That counts. And you will also clean it up, so I'm fine. I'm just glad you didn't spill the oil over yourself. He leaned to Oikawa's neck, pressing a soft kiss on the exposed skin. Oikawa blushed. Be more careful next time, okay? He turned off the stove and put away the pot, his eyes glinting in amusement as he watched the floating black cubes. Or wait for me. We can cook together. Oikawa rejoiced. Really? Can we make dinner together now? After you clean up. Oikawa put on his best puppy eyes. But I'm hungry. It will go much faster if you help me. And then we can spend some quality couple time together. Iwaizumi raised his eyebrow. You made the mess? You'll clean the mess. I'll be in the living room. Call me when you are done. Hajime. Can't hear you. Must be the cornstarch on the floor. Come on, Hajime. Just this once. Nope. With that, he flopped onto the couch and turned on the TV. Oikawa huffed and reluctantly went to fetch the broom. Alright, let's do this. Kyotani decided to take advantage of the fact Kyouhaba was doing some paperwork in the living room right now, meaning he had the kitchen for himself, but at the same time he could call for help if anything bad happened. He frowned at the piece of salmon in front of him, pondering on how to correctly slice it. He watched a video recipe earlier and it looked easy enough, but everything looked easy on screen. He shrugged, deciding to just cut the fish on as thin slices as possible and hope for the best. What are you doing? Kyotani startled, nearly dropping the knife. God damn it, Shigeru! You are telling me to stop sneaking up on you, and yet you do exactly the same. Kyouhaba grinned, apparently satisfied. At least you know how it feels. He peeked over his boyfriend's shoulder. Is that what I think it is? I hope so. Depends on how well it will go from now on. Oh, alright. Not that I'm not looking forward to it, but why do you cook all of a sudden? Are we celebrating something? Can't I do something nice for you from time to time? Kyouhaba smiled and hugged Kyotani from behind, laying his head on his shoulder. I guess you can. I was just surprised. You act like I've never cooked for you before. I never said that. It's just unusual, that's all. Kyotani leaned into Kyouhaba's chest a bit. I should do it more often then, to repay you for always having a meal ready for me no matter how late I come home from practices. You don't have to repay anything. I'm your boyfriend, so I'm taking care of you. And you being here with me is more than enough. Kyotani's heart melted. He squeezed Kyouhaba's hand and brought it to his lips, pressing a small kiss on the delicate, ever so gentle fingers. I should be saying that. I'm the luckiest man alive with you by my side. Kyouhaba chuckled, his face turning pink. Since when do you speak romantic? Ever since you forced me to watch those horrible romantic dramas with you. That was 3 years ago, and I still have nightmares about it. He shuddered, earning a smack to the shoulder. I will let you know those movies are good, you just don't have a taste. Sure, whatever you say. Meanie, my love. Yahaba's face turned a bright red. Not fair. You know this gets me every time. You should get used to it already. Yahaba gave him one of his most charming smiles. Enough time for that. Now, do you want me to help you? What about your work? I'm already done. Or do you not want me here? Of course I do. Just... It was supposed to be a surprise. Yahaba gave him a quick peck on the cheek. It was a surprise, a really nice one. But we didn't really spend much time together this week, so I thought we could work on this together. Kyotani could melt into a puddle there and then. Not that he would ever say it out loud. Alright then. Can you do the rice? Right at it. Kunimi sighed and rubbed his eyes. He already prepared some proper food for Kindaichi and was now hypnotizing the 2 corn cobs slowly grilling on the pan. He was glad Kindaichi's favorite was something as simple as corn, which of course didn't mean he wasn't going to prepare it properly. After all, Kindaichi was coming back from a week-long practice camp with his team, and Kunimi was sure his boyfriend was going to be hungry. Or at least he hoped so. He was just putting the corn on a plate when keys rattled in the lock. Soon, the door closed, and he could hear footsteps, but nothing more. He frowned. No greeting? He turned off the stove and headed to the living room. Kindaichi didn't seem to see him yet. Kunimi noticed he had earphones in his ears, which explained why he didn't hear him. He tapped on Kindaichi's shoulder to alert him to his presence. A second later, elbow collided hard with his chest, knocking some air out of his lungs and sending him staggering backwards. What the heck, Yutaro? Kindaichi's eyes widened as he tore the earphones from his ears. Oh god, sorry Aki, I didn't know you are home. Where else would I be? He groaned quietly. He knew Kindaichi has gotten stronger since they graduated, but he didn't need to feel it on his own body. At least not like this. Since when do you have reflexes for attack? I don't, it just... One of my teammates was talking about how he got surprised in his apartment by robbers, and it probably stuck with me. I'm sorry, did I hurt you much? Kunimi rubbed the hit area, gently sweating away Kindaichi's hands. Not really. I just expected a bit kinder greeting. I'm sorry, love. I really thought you aren't home. You know I would never hit you intentionally, right? Kunimi rolled his eyes. Of course I do. But right now, I have an urge to eat that corn by myself. He had to stifle a laugh when he saw how Kindaichi's eyes brightened at the mention of corn. You cooked for me? Why not? I'm glad you are home. He pressed a small kiss on Kindaichi's lips. I missed you, you know. Kindaichi blushed before grinning widely and pulled Kunimi to him by his waist. I missed you too. What do you say we stay at home tomorrow the whole day? Gladly. But now come on, let's eat. I'm hungry. Your wish is my command. Omi, why do I have to go get groceries today? Because it's your turn. But it's my birthday. Sakusa sighed at his boyfriend's whining. That doesn't mean you don't have to do your chores. How mean, Omi. You should be surrounding me with love and attention, not chase me away to go shopping. And yet I do. Come on, the sooner you go, the sooner you get back. Atsumu stuck his tongue out at him, but grabbed the bags and with lots of grumbling, finally left. Sakusa smiled and shook his head in a loving exasperation. I will huddle you with love, just you wait. He needed Atsumu out of the house so he could start preparing everything. It was supposed to be a surprise after all. He already had everything he needed for the recipes he had in mind from yesterday, and also a big cake hidden in the fridge. It won't be as good as from Osamu, but it's the thought that counts, right? He didn't want to spoil Osamu's surprise, so he couldn't really ask him for help, but the recipes he found looked easy enough and had great descriptions to follow. He started with the onigiri, as that was the easier part. He modeled them into various shapes, filling them with meat and fish. Pleased with the results, he hid them away and moved to the sushi and fatty tuna. That proved to be a bit more challenging than he anticipated. The rice refused to cooperate, and he was almost done with his nerves by the time he finished the last piece. Fortunately, the grilled fish came out well, and he could calm down at least a bit. He quickly cleaned the mess in the kitchen and prepared the table, waiting for Atsumu's return. The door clicked just as he set down the last plate. "I swear to God, Omi, I will chase you to the store on your birthday for this." "It's not that bad." "That's not the point. I should be enjoying this day, spending it with lots of food and gifts. But no, I have to go shopping because Mr. Sakusa Kiyomi is righteous and so I have to suffer." Dramatic much? So what? I have the right to express my disappointment over your lack of empathy. Sakusa rolled his eyes. I have my share of empathy, mind you. Atsumu dropped the bags on the counter and frowned, crossing his arms over his chest. Oh really? Given the lack of any kind of celebration, I'm starting to think you actually forgot. How could I forget when you have been reminding me almost every hour for the last week? And yet you didn't give me a single gift. I gave you a kiss in the morning. That's not a gift. Sakusa's heart dropped, but he kept the same expression. You're so materialistic. He picked up a small wrapped box and handed it to Atsumu. Here, take this when my love isn't enough. Realization flashed over Atsumu's face. He ignored the box and squeezed Sakusa in a tight hug. Of course your love is enough, Omi. That's not what I meant. I'm just so used to sharing gifts with Samu, I'm so hyped for every gift I get just for me. Sakusa sighed and returned the hug. Well, it's not like I kiss your brother too. I sure hope so. You are my boyfriend. He can go to Sunarin. Speaking of Suna, maybe don't be surprised if your brother calls you about burnt kitchen. Burnt what? Sakusa smiled and took hold of Atsumu's hand. Come on, I have something for you. Close your eyes. That sounds menacing when you say it like that. I swear it's good. Or I hope it is. Atsumu tilted his head but obliged and closed his eyes. Sakusa led him to the table, inwardly praying the food tasted good. Alright, you can look now. Atsumu blinked, slowly taking in all the food. His eyes sparkled with pure happiness, and Sakusa's heart melted. You did all this? For me? For who else? He gave Atsumu a soft kiss on the temple, gently running his fingers through the bleached hair. Happy birthday, Tsumu. Atsumu threw his arms around Sakusa's neck, kissing him deeply. This is amazing! Thanks, Omi. Don't thank me yet, you don't know how it tastes. I'm no cook, it certainly won't be as good as from Osamu. Who cares? I'm sure it will be delicious. But what did you mean about Sunarin and kitchen? I might have given a few people a challenge to cook their boyfriend's favorite food. And Rin was one of them? Yes. Well, I hope Samu has good insurance, because there will be fire. Is he really that bad? You have no idea. What are you doing? Semi smiled innocently at Shirabu, hiding the shirasu he was preparing behind his back. Just some cooking. Shirabu narrowed his eyes at him. Then why are you being so secretive about it? Because it's a surprise. You are cooking a surprise. Why does it sound like a disaster waiting to happen? Semi held his hand over his heart in an acted offendedness. Excuse me, I'm good at cooking. Not as good as you, but still. You haven't burned down the house yet, that doesn't mean anything. I haven't burned any food yet either, so why are you so suspicious? One can never be too careful. I'm hurt, Kenjiro. You're hurting me, even though all I wanted was to make you happy. Shirabu blinked in surprise. Really? Yeah, but now I don't know if I want to finish it because you obviously don't trust my skills. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was supposed to be for me. Are you mad? Semi smiled and pulled Shirabu to his side. Of course not. You can help me if you want. Or you can go and rest a bit. I know this week was hard for you. Shirabu sighed softly and leaned into Semi's embrace. Semi squealed inwardly. He hated when Shirabu overworked himself, but the truth was, he loved the clingy side of his boyfriend it usually brought up. If I help you, will you cuddle me after dinner? As if I could ever say no to that. By the way, how would you like your shirasu? Shirabu perked up. You have shirasu? Why didn't you tell me sooner? I told you it was supposed to be a surprise. But since you are here, you can as well tell me what are you in the mood for today. Can you do a rice bowl? And some spinach, please. Semi dangled the tiny fish in front of Shirabu's face. A bit demanding, aren't we? Eita, get that fish out of my face. You'll eat it later anyway. But it's different. And you shouldn't play with your food. You are not a cat. Semi chuckled, but laid the little fish back into the bowl. Sorry, I couldn't resist. How much her, Mr. Civil Servant? I am also a musician, and musicians are free-spirited by nature. Alright, you free-spirited musician, watch the rice. If you burn it, I will never forgive you. Really? Never? For a week. I can do that. No, you can't. Shirabu sighed. No, I can't. Love you, darling. Love you too, but watch the rice, please. Suna stared helplessly at the pile of groceries he bought earlier that day. He wished he could take advantage of Osamu's inability to choose his favorite food, but the fact was, he couldn't do anything. Osamu once said Suna could burn a bowl of cereal if he had the chance. He finally decided to try some easy ramen with chicken. That can go wrong, right? There's enough water in it. Before he even put water into pot, Osamu's head appeared from behind the corner. What are you doing? Suna stopped. Cooking? Rin, darling, you know I love you from the bottom of my heart, but that's not a good idea. You don't trust me? I don't trust your cooking skills. Remember how it ended last time? That was 2 years ago. You haven't allowed me into the kitchen since then. And for a good reason. Why don't you go take a nap? I can make us something. But it's your birthday. You should be celebrating and resting, not cooking for us. Osamu sighed and shook his head. Look, I appreciate you want to give me a break from the kitchen, but you really shouldn't cook anything. I like this kitchen, you know? Suna averted his eyes. He knew he was horrible when it came to cooking, but when Osamu was here, he could help him, right? Except that probably didn't cross his mind. Fine. It's for the better, Rin. Osamu reached for Suna's hand. Don't be sad. We can go shopping tomorrow if you want. But I want to make today special for you. Okay. Osamu smiled and released Suna's hand. Alright. I have to finish some paperwork now, but I'll make us dinner when I'm done. What do you think? Sounds nice. Before Osamu left, he leaned back around the corner, narrowing his eyes at Suna. Don't go near the kitchen, okay? I heard you the first time. Good. With that, Osamu left for their office. Suna sighed and turned to the pot. I can't do this. The awfully loud beeping of a fire alarm resonated through the whole house. Suna watched in horror as the flames flared up from the oil in the pan, burning the too close-laid towel and coming dangerously close to a bottle of sake Osamu put there after their celebration. Shit. He didn't have any other towel and couldn't think of anything better than to push the pan off the stove with his bare hand. He cried out in pain as the hot metal burned his skin, leaving nasty-looking blisters on his palm. What the? Suna startled. He didn't even hear Osamu coming. It took Osamu just a second to assess the situation. He grabbed a cookie sheet and covered the pan, immediately rummaging around the cupboards for baking soda. God damn it, Suna! I told you not to cook anything! Suna cringed at the angry edge of Osamu's usually so calm voice and the use of his family name. He clenched his jaw as the burn on his hand started to hurt really bad, and avoided Osamu's gaze. Osamu pushed him towards the living room, his eyes hard and furious. Get out! I told you to stay away! Look what you've done! Let me help. Get out! You'll do more harm than good. Suna swallowed the tears and backed away, not wanting to cause even more damage to Osamu's nerves. The fire was slowly dying under Osamu's watchful eye. Osamu still looked angry though, muttering not-so-quiet curses under his breath. Way to celebrate birthday, putting out fires. Suna bit his lip and ran to the bathroom, locking the door behind him. He put his hurt hand under cold water in hopes to ease the pain a bit, but the burning just got worse. He soon gave up, not really seeing anything through the tears in his eyes, most of which weren't from the physical pain. He kept the water running to muffle the occasional sobs wrenching through his body. He didn't need Osamu to find him like this. You've ruined his birthday enough already. The fire alarm finally stopped screeching and it was quiet again except for the running water. A knock on the door startled him. Rin? Suna squeezed his eyes shut and stayed quiet. Rin, are you okay? Did you get hurt? No. Liar. Let me in. I can help you with it. A new stream of tears rolled down Suna's face. His hurt hand was shaking hard and was hurting like all hell, but he couldn't bring himself to unlock the door. I'm fine. I ruined your birthday enough. There was a moment of stunned silence. What are you talking about? You didn't ruin anything. I'm sorry I yelled at you. I didn't mean to, I swear. I was just trying to save as much as possible. Please, let me in. I can tell you are hurting right now, and I want to help you. Suna hesitantly reached for the door, turning the key in the lock. He tried to dry his cheeks before Osamu came in, but the man was neither stupid nor blind. What hurts? Suna raised his burned hand. The skin was dark red, the blisters spreading over almost whole palm. Osamu's eyes widened. Why didn't you tell me sooner? He guided Suna's hand under the tap, letting a bit warmer water run at the burn. You were busy putting out the fire, and you made it clear you didn't want me there. I'm sorry, Ren. I should have checked on you. We have to get you to a doctor. It looks bad. Was it the oil? No, I grabbed the pan. Goodness, Rin! Why would you touch a burning pan? I was panicking. You told me to stay away, but I wanted... And then it ignited, and I tried to push it away from the flames. Osamu sighed, gently rubbing Suna's wrist. What were you even trying to do? That was supposed to be a ramen. Sakusa came with a challenge to cook our boyfriend's favorite food because he was cooking for Atsumu for your birthday, and I thought it was a nice idea I could try because food makes you happy. Why would you agree to a challenge like this? We all know you do horrible in the kitchen. Suna clenched his jaw. Because you never told me anything. Osamu faltered. Rin, you are a great cook, and yet you didn't teach me a single thing. Why? Am I so useless you can't even be bothered to try? Rin. Suna sniffed, avoiding Osamu's gaze. I just wanted to make you happy. But I can't because I can't do anything right. The familiar large hands cupped his face, making him look at his boyfriend. You are not useless. I didn't teach you because I thought you are content with me cooking everything. It didn't occur to me you wanted to learn how to cook. Of course I want to. What am I going to do when you leave me? I'll starve. Osamu frowned and squeezed Suna's cheeks. I'm not gonna leave you. You don't know that. I do know that. But if you want to learn, I'll gladly teach you. We will have more time we can spend together. A small smile made its way to Suna's face. He leaned his forehead on Osamu's shoulder, suddenly feeling exhausted. Don't get too comfortable. We have to take you to a doctor. It could get infected if you don't have it treated. Alright. Osamu gently wrapped Suna's hand with a clean bandage and grabbed his car keys. Before they left, Osamu's phone rang. Are you both alive? Yeah, just a burnt band and a bit charred stove. But Rin burned his hand, so we are heading to the hospital. Oh, okay. Let us know how he is after you get it treated. Omi says he is sorry for getting Sunarin to do the challenge. It could be worse. I should have watched him. Hey! Tell him it's fine, but that I will come for him if he ever does this again. Noted. Take care of Sunarin, okay? Of course. Happy birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, my annoying twin. You are the one to talk. I have to go. I need to drive. Be careful. Sure. Call ended. You know, when you aren't next to each other, you almost sound like siblings. Distance does wonders. We can't just argue all the time now. Suna chuckled. I'm glad.